Good morning, guys. Jim Squares here, bringing you some more solutions for your life. Today's a money hack on knowledge is power. How do you compare in net worth to others and on your wealth building journey? So first, remember to like and subscribe down below. Share with others, especially if you think they'll benefit or be interested. And let's go. So what I wanted to share with all of you is I built something to track my progress. So related to net worth and wealth. And what it is I built a dynamic spreadsheet based on the government, U.S. government data. So they take surveys and they take everyone's tax returns and they comb through them and they do calculations based on all the auditable records that are out there. It's not 100%, but it's at least 80 to 85%-ish correct. And that's what we need, because that gives us the direction to get some insights into making our life better. And this is all based on 2020 data. But what I did is in this sheet, I've manipulated it so that as the years go by, so if it's 2030, this will automatically fix itself and inflation adjusts. So I assume a little bit over 3% inflation is what I assume. So actually it's usually a little bit faster for wealth-wise because wealth is growing faster than inflation, which is interesting. So, but anyways, so let's get to it. I'm going to share with you guys something I built right now. All right, so here we go into our net worth spreadsheet here. And first I'll take a step back. And really this is the table right here, right? So if you wanted to find your net worth for your age or where you kind of stand, what you do is you go down column A and you go down age-wise. And I'll have this link in the show notes. And you can pick your age bracket. Let's say you're 32. So you go into 32 age bracket and you say average net worth for people your age is around $81,000. 82-ish. The median is 104. So the median is the middle person. Now, why are these so different? So it's because the people at the top 1%ers, are yanking it, the average way higher. So this is really where you should look first, is the median. Is say, okay, how do I compare to the median if you wanted to know? Because that's the middle person, the exact 50%. And then if you wanted to know average, then here's where you go. You can kind of go with average, and that's comparing yourself to everybody across the whole spectrum, like no matter what the wealth. If they're born with millions of dollars, that's everybody in that age bracket. Now, from there, you would progress up to these. Let's say you want to be in the top 50%. So that's where these numbers come in. And you go 32, so to be in the top 50% of people, you would have to have over $14,000, $14,283. And that's in this age. So if you're 32 and you already hit that number, you are going to be well past where the people are at 34, assuming your net worth continues to grow and you continue to move on your path in that direction. Next would be the top 25%, which is a 57K-ish. And then, so you get up to the 57K in net worth, and it's almost the average. And then you're showing, yeah, you're in the top 25% of U.S. people. And then top 10%, so now this is where we finally passed that average net worth, and this is where they're saying, yeah, 155K to be in the top 10% in this age bracket. If you just got into 30, you could do a blend. Like what I like to do is if I'm in those ages that where I'm crossing, I'll look at this and go, okay, yeah, this is everybody in my age bracket. This is probably closer to, I would say, top end. So if you're 29, this is probably more closer to accurate. Not exactly. And if you're 34, then this is more closer to accurate. If you were in between, you could merge, you could like highlight over these things, change this to average. The average is 124K. So that's about what you got. And let's continue up the net worth chart. Here, the top 5%, that actually wasn't the U.S. Census data. I got this somewhere else. So that data is from 2019. So that's a year different. But I still inflated it. I made it the same. And so you can actually see kind of where you stand. But here's where you see 460K in the top 5%, and the top 1%, 572K. That seems pretty close in these first couple brackets, but then we start getting to 35 to 39, that's where it really starts, the top 1% starts to pull away. I mean, look at how close these were before, and now they're really pulling away. And then even here, I mean, you're still, I would say the distance is about the same from 10 to 5%. So, but yeah, this is what I like to use. I mean, you could come in here and you could even say, hey, and this is the gray cells I highlighted here for you to determine, like, how are you doing in relation to your own skills. So now this is compared to everybody else. Now that's one way of comparison. And this does not include your home equity. So this is just your money that you have. So investments and speculative investments and all that good stuff. Pension, if you have something like that, that's what this is. Now, if we go to salary, this is where these other three numbers come in. So here's where you'd say, hey, I'm born in 1986, and let's say you make 70K a year. So then you'll notice that these numbers would change. So the estimated net worth for this is based on the Millionaire Next Door equation. So where he has an equation where he says he would estimate your net worth is around 274 typically. Now, if your income sheet's affluent, income sheet statement affluent, that means that you spend more of what you have than what you typically should, and that's where your 137K. If your balance sheet affluent, then that's where you save more than you typically would, or you've made it some other way. You would also include business equity into these. If you have business equity, that's different than home equity. But yeah, you see if you did a great job of saving, this is your number. If you did a decent job, that's just this number. If you did a not so good, but you did okay, then that's this. If you have something much less, probably not good. So, but it has to be significantly less, and also take into consideration like how old you are. So that makes a big difference. All right, let's scroll down, and here's where we get some learnings from some of this stuff. So this is stuff I've taken over time, like so where it tries to tell you. So right here you can see here's different types of groups. So I've split them. Like here's the type name of the group, and here's the financial assets. So this includes business assets. Again, not home equity, unless it's home equity of a rental property. That would be different because that would be kicking off cash for you. The home you live in, that's not kicking out cash for you. You're just spending money into that. So, and unless you're planning on selling it, I wouldn't count it because you're not going to do it unless you really have to. So, but this is the percent of owning a business, and here's where you see what's driving all of these one percenters. It's truly owning a business. They own businesses is where it comes down to. So 70% of them. And the high net worth people, which is still a nice place to be, it's 37% of them own businesses. So this tells you the true key to wealth is not as an employee for someone else. It's your owning your own business, having control of your own thing. This is the net worth to be affluent. It's 1.9 million. This is across every age, just in general. So it's merging them all together. Top 1% of net worth is about 8.8 million. So, and then here off to the right is where it's the share of market income by source of the top 1%. So this is show you over time since 1980s, and this goes only to about 2010-ish. The business income you can see is slowly growing. And capital, meaning money off of stocks, is going down, and it's kind of leveled out. And labor, it's been level, so that's pretty much consistent. But the business income is the one where more and more money is coming from. So you can see the switch here, where it's really truly business income. Our next chart is sources of wealth. So this is talking about this. So out of this people who have this much money, typically, how much of them are working for someone else? So 50 out of, I'll say, let's see here, we'll change this to a sum, 100. So 50 out of 100, half of them are working in someone else's business. 20 are working in their own. And then for 250K to half a million, so you can see where the majority of those people own businesses. People who earn $500,000 or more, they own businesses. So this is, and here's where you can see too, real estate. Are they getting out of real estate? Are they getting it from inheritance? This, again, all government-sponsored data. This is the stuff that is not going to lie to you or be manipulated by the media. So this is where you want to look for your answers for what you're interested in. So financial investments, here's another one. This is, again, it's pretty level across all of them. It doesn't look like it's the true key to getting true wealth, like significant wealth. It's, to me, if you look at this own businesses, that's where it is. I mean, both the last two charts show that. And then here's where the average person with $1 million annual income, this is how they earn it. So they're a high wage earner, so about 300K-ish from wages and salary. And then they have capital gains, so that's like stock appreciation and real estate, things like that. That's where the capital appreciation comes from. And then we also have interest, dividends, and capital gains. So those are just kick off of their investments. So they save a significant portion of their money to have interest from bonds, CDs, stocks, things like that. That's where this comes from. So that's where 600K is. So, but yeah, excuse me, didn't quite do that. So that if you add all these up, this is over $1 million. But these two are the ones. So you can see they earn 30% from wages and salary, and interest and dividends, capital gains is 670K from just capital gains alone. That means just stocks that they're selling or real estate they're selling is about $500,000. So most of this is capital gains, not interest and dividends. They don't get it. They're not getting much from that. It's just the true capital gains or long-term investing. Another funny bonus tip that I included in here is Richistan. So this is where you're getting into like significant wealth. So there's a lower Richistan between 1 and 10 million. Middle is 10 and 100 million, and upper is 100 to 1 billion. So I thought was a fun, nice thing to be in here because it's kind of cool to see how it all stands up. And that's really what I wanted to share today. Is that the true key to wealth is businesses. This is how you can learn, is looking at these details that they have there. And yeah, I found this is not really changed over the years, and I've been tracking this for a while. Every once in a while I try to refresh it, maybe every 10 years or so, and it really hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is those in the top 1%, their wealth is growing faster. Like anyone who has wealth is actually all growing faster, but the 1% in particular, they are. And so that's showing that your own business, private ownership is where the true wealth is. So to continue learning, I recommend checking out my video on 4 ways to $50 million. So it should be on one of the sides. So check it out. Keep growing together. Share it with others. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be talking. And if you want a copy of this, it's a spreadsheet down below. Google Docs. Just go ahead and create a copy for yourself, and you got it. All right, it's yours. You're welcome. Thanks.